Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway. Welcome back for those who was with me earlier on the watch along, and hello to the new ones that's joining us for tonight. As always, we will be getting more people joining. As you can see at the moment, just me and Jez tonight. Jez, how you keeping, mate? How's things for you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Yeah. As you can see, I've joined your club yesterday. No, I'm all good, mate. And thanks again for inviting me on, as you normally do. Thank you.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Let's catch up with a chat, and we'll start talking about what's happened over the weekend. As always, Matt, first of all, big up Tony in the panel, and also to Henry Baker. Hope you well, Henry. And they all sound like each other as always. Howard, hope you well, even all you beautiful people coming you irons. And appreciate that, Howard. Yeah, Tone, great stream earlier. No, it was good, mate, with all you people as well. That's good banter. Love Tony watch a lot of great banter. Thanks, Matt. Lawrence, if you want to, Lawrence, I've just banged it in there for you. Afternoon from Lexington, Kentucky, coming you irons. Yes, it was, Henry. A good point for us today. Yeah, we know who we are. Lord Lawrence of Lexington. And they all sound like each other. Tony is adding more brill cream to his noggin. Got to. Go over that shine, Matt. Henry say, no, Tony deciding which wig to wear today. The long flowing locks. That's the one. Lawrence is saying, Jez, the legend in the house. Absolutely. Matt saying, Ange for manager of the year, almost getting Spurs relegated.
Yeah.
That's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, who do you blame on that one, though, Jez? Is it the case of Levy, or do you say it's Ange himself, or is it even the players?
I think it's a mixture of the three, mate. Be honest. Ange is obviously seriously struggling now. I think the club, I think it could be any time soon when he's out the door. I just think they've got some shit players. They're clearly not playing for the club or the manager. I think they're down tools. They're not interested. And let's not put too fine a point on it. Levy hasn't really given Ange the tools that he needs, to be fair. I think he's a good manager, to be honest. He just hasn't had what he needs to get that team over the line. And, they're sitting in 13th spot now, I think it is. So, yeah, I'm not saying they're going to get relegated. I don't believe that. But they've got to go through, dare I say it, the process. They've got a rebuild, man. Are they going to go the youth project like supposedly Arsenal did? I can't sit here and say I'm going to cry about them. No, I'm not. And I'm sure you're not either. But at the end of the day, they're in a mess and they've got to be careful because there are teams below them that could could overtake them. Would I cry about it, Tone? No, I wouldn't.
Well, today's result have put us above United as well as Spurs. So Spurs have been below us for a couple of weeks now. So long may that continue.
You had the better of that game in the end.
Agree on that.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole game. I only caught about the last 20 minutes. But West Ham looked to me, which did surprise me, being Unai Emery's team, considering what they did to Arsenal the other week.
Yes, yeah.
It looked to me, as a neutral, that you had the better of it. To be honest, which
it was definitely a game of two halves, as they say, Jez. That's for sure. I mean, Villa, for me, there should have been easily 2-3, and I did say on the watch along, as a Villa fan, you must be thinking, this should have been put to bed early, but say they didn't, and so we got ourselves back in the game and very unlucky not to get it near the end.
Yeah,
right. We took advantage of them. The midweek game has obviously cost them in that respects, but every cloud. I mean, 1 point. We want to take that at the beginning because our squad was stretched because of the injuries and the suspension. But take it as a good result. Good evening, nations. Good evening to the assembled as well. Good evening, everyone. Even Brendan, even all, Mike and Howard, Matt, Lawrence and Henry, etc. And also Mr. Burge, good to see you as well. Good evening, everyone. Arteta out. Good evening, words and pictures. This show is my takeaway delight. Oh, thank you very much, sir. Good evening to Brenny K. Evening, gents, and also in the chat as well. Irons, Rob, how we doing, matey? Brendan, Henry saying, good time. Don't forget my party Tuesday. Of course, Henry, remember you saying that. Good evening to Gavin O'Flaherty as well. Crack, lads. All good. I hope the same for yourself. And they're all saying like each other, which is nice.
Nope. I'm on my own. Oh dear. Tone's decided to leave me to it on West Ham.
My mouse pad is so sensitive, Jiz. I've done this several times now. Jesus Christ.
I've done it.
Thanks for covering.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yes, all right, team.
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Good.
Just catch up with the chat there. We're saying like each other. Lawrence is saying, we'd love to join Tony, but in the living room with the wife. So the chat is the best I can do. Thank you. I'd love to join you in the future. Get the missus to join with us as well, Lawrence.
Yeah. Looking up Lawrence in the fantasy football. Just gone off over.
Have you? With the results?
Yeah.
Rob says Spurs have a mix of poor players, poor manager, and poor backing, but who cares? Let's enjoy it. Absolutely. Anthony and Jez would definitely agree on you with that one.
Yeah.
We will come to this one because me and Jez was talking about this in the background. Was Lewis Skelly rightly or wrongly sent off? Anthony, me and Jez have already said it. Let's hear your side of it. Do you think he was rightly sent off or wrongly sent off?
I think he was. In all fairness, I think he was wrongly sent off. Listen, I know a tackle went in, and the studs were showing in that. But listen, how many times have we seen this actually in the game? Not just in Arsenal games, in anybody else who ever plays. We see it quite a lot in the Premier League. Personally, I thought it was a yellow, in my opinion. That was that. The other thing was the Wolves player that got sent off. Personally, same thing. I thought that was a yellow. But even though Skelly was sent off, yeah, he had to send the other guy off as well. It's only fair, in my opinion. But in all fairness, I think on the day, I didn't think either one was a sending off. I thought it was both yellows. It should have been 11 v 11. But at the end of the day, we won 1-0. We kept a clean sheet. We got the 3 points, and we move on. And that's my view and my opinion of the sending off, basically.
But the Wolves one was a second yellow, so it's a red.
So it's a red, yeah. So, but in all fairness, that makes you think, Jez, that okay, fine, that was a sending off. But I do feel that Skelly's want the sending off, in my opinion. We've seen it all before in games, and we've seen players get away with it, So, in all fairness, I personally think it was a bit harsh. I know everybody. I've seen shows and clips and on people on their shows talking about the referee, giving the referee a lot of shit, basically, and they have. Does he deserve that shit?
No.
Maybe not. But at the end of the day, if the game's done, we finished it. We've got 3 points, and like what I said, we move on.
Yeah. Just big up to Richie Langton, 99 Arsenal. Just started my channel. City will finish above us. 3 seasons, no centre forward or Saka backup, unacceptable. Evening both. Evening to yourself as well. Just let you know, Richie, just sub to your channel as well, mate. And guys in the chat, let's give us a love and support to. I know he's a rival fan, but if you can, go see Richie Langton, 99 Arsenal's channel, and give him a little share, like, and subscribe, and then let's help the guy out as well. That's what we're all about.
Well, after this show, I'll go and subscribe to that.
Todd saying Ange Postecoglou is keeping the chair warm, ready for Mikel Arteta to be the new Spurs manager. Same level, perfect match for each other. Bristol Rovers track the supporter. They're all saying like he is always.
He sure is. I am right.
Dale, big up to yourself, Net. Big up to the channel, Net. Max is saying 100% red card, no excuses.
Well,
How?
sorry.
Go on, mate. Go on. Allude on to that one.
Personally, the way I looked at that, as soon as I saw it, I thought that's a red card. I'll tell you for why. Yeah, it was a cynical tackle, and by the letter of the law, you could say it was a professional foul. Now, I've had people, saying, "Oh, you can't have a professional foul there." Well, you can have a professional foul anywhere on the pitch. At the end of the day, to me, it was cynical. Whether he showed his studs or not is beside the point. He did it with intent. And if you look at the law of interpret it the way it is written, it's a red card. That's it.
Yeah, simple.
Fact.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I've seen a highlight of it, and then you see where the studs were, and that I think that's the one that kind of maybe tipped the decision in my eyes, but everyone's got their own opinion. Howard saying, evening, Anthony. Thought I saw a three-legged dog tied to the rally chopper in the car park. Rally chopper, man.
They're worth a fortune now, then.
Cool, aren't they? Evening, Tont, Jez, and Anthony. Mama Flossie, as always. Evening and evening to the chat. And they're all saying hello to each other. Henry's asking, when is it dangerous to be a leg breaker? I think it's anything from the shin downwards, basically, or upwards, whichever way you want to look at it. And I think it's the intensity of the player comes in. Yeah, Brendan's right here. Elvis has definitely got a second yellow earlier. He knew it too. Yeah, he got away with one there, didn't he? And as I said, he should have come back a lot earlier. Taken off a lot earlier than that. Let's bring him in because the glare from his teeth of he's smiling so much is blinding me at the moment because he's very happy with a 5-0 result against the Forest. Matty, good evening, mate. How are you?
Yeah, all good evening all.
Evening, mate.
Yeah, very happy. Good result. Don't know if you saw the highlights, but yeah, destroyed them yesterday, and starting to really dream about a potential European place come the end of the season. So all good down on the south coast.
Just give us your address, mate. We will all send you down a box of tissues for that nosebleed. You know, it's not an easy place to be in, is it? That's for sure.
Definitely.
There's the channel for Richie Langton and that. So yeah, we can give a little bit of love. Thank you very much, Mama, as always. Oregon saying NFC Championship game in Washington versus Philly. Fly Eagles, fly. Good evening to Outgunned. What about the Wolves player? Yeah, we've just said, and he just said it should have gone as well, basically. Yeah, Howard saying the same thing. Read all day long. Matt, we're just saying about the Skelly sending off for the Arsenal game. I mean, what did you make of it yourself?
To be honest with you, I've only briefly seen it. I've seen that the referees, what's it called, the PGMOL or what they call themselves these days. I see they've come out and said it was a red card, but I've only seen one replay of it. I suppose I'd agree with it's probably a red card, but like I say, I've only seen it the once, so I didn't see any of the game, to be honest. That one.
Yeah, it was an interesting. I mean, I'm going to come to a comment that's coming up in a minute. Good evening, Tony, Jez, Anthony, you wonderful gentlemen. Sorry I could not join you on the second half of your watch along. I only got the last 50 minutes to do some care duties for my friend. No, we know what you have to do, Colin. Appreciate you coming in, mate. Good evening, the true saying, as you said, the inconsistency is a real problem, and this is the thing for the ones that's doing the watch along with me. As we said, Alvarez gets booked for a yellow card for grabbing the ball on the deck. Yet the Villa player does exactly the same thing. What's it, 87th, 88th minute, and nothing, gets away with it. And as Brennan just mentioned, Alvarez should have gone. It was definitely a second yellow. Should have walked, but managed to stay on the pitch. But this is the biggest problem still. The inconsistencies of these referees. And we're still waiting for this auto VAR to come in yet. We haven't seen it yet, have we? Because it's been put back again, I believe.
Yeah, apparently.
So it just, I don't know.
I think this is the problem that I totally agree with you about the inconsistency, and this is one of the major contentions that if referees could sort their sales out and get it become consistent, I think a lot of the debates would disappear.
Mm.
You're quite right in what you say. Now, I didn't see the first Alvarez. I didn't see that. The second, where you're talking about here, that should have been a yellow card. Well, is that now? I'm just throwing this out there, right? I'm not saying this is fact. Is it the fact it's the 87th minute, right, and the referee just can't be asked? I'm just saying that.
I think you're probably onto something there, Jez, because they know full well they've probably got roast beef and all Swedish sandwiches waiting for them when they finish the game after having their shower, and it gets to that stage. Well, we're at that point now. It looks like it's even Stevens. Let it fly. But it's out there, isn't it? That's the problem. It is out there.
This is it, mate. This is it.
And they put themselves under scrutiny. And as we all know, the PGML do defend these referees at certain points. I thought myself with the Skelly one, I was expecting, maybe Monday / Tuesday, we'll probably see him say, we're going to rescind the red card because we've looked at it again and it wasn't as harsh as we thought it to be. But the fact that Matt's just said there, they've actually said it is a red. Then unfortunately, I mean, what are you going to lose in there? Is it 3 games you're going to lose him for?
Yeah, he'd be out for 3 games now, Skelly. So it'd be interesting who Mikel Arteta picks at left back. But personally, I think it'd be Zinchenko because he definitely ain't going to be picking Fiorentino, which he should, but he's not going to pick him.
Actually, I've just read something on. I've just seen an image of this tackle. I said I've only seen it once, but he does have his studs up, doesn't he? But Mike Dean's come out and said he seems to think Arsenal got a good chance of winning the appeal. Is what I've just read here.
I'm sure they will appeal it. I'm sure they will. But I don't know. I don't know, mate. I mean, it's an interesting one, this one, isn't it? I think the interesting thing about this, great point you've made there, actually, is if Arsenal appeal that and they win it, right, because they've got to appeal to the FA, not to the PGMOL, then if they win that, then that sets the precedent. So it's going to be a very, very tricky one, this one. Big up, Yeti.
Big up, mate.
I don't know. It's going to be an odd one, this one, because personally, will the FA? Well, they've got to allow if Arsenal do appeal, they've got to allow the appeal. They've then got to come up with the warranted fact of why. I mean, I've been to appeals when I was a ref myself, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one, this one.
No, it's true. That's true. Before anything, I'll say hello to, first of all, for Yeti. Good evening to you, mate. Thanks for coming on board. We'll come back to you in a minute. I just want to do these 2 things here. Thanks for the super chat from Lawrence, who says, this money needs to go for a West Ham striker signing. Go fund me for West Ham. Let's get a striker going on there. And thanks again to Henry for gifting 5 early doors football TV memberships to people. Henry, appreciate it as always. What's your take on this sending off the Arsenal players and Skelly yesterday? What did you make of it?
Well, I've just had a look at the highlights, and to be honest, I think they should have sent all of Arsenal off, to be honest, the way they reacted after it happened. But, it's disgraceful. But I don't know. I mean, we had this conversation yesterday with Jez, and I think, like what Jez has said, the problem is the consistency. Nobody knows the laws of the game because the referees don't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few naughty ones yesterday, to be honest.
That's true.
With Bournemouth, but I'm not going to say that's why we lost because there's no way, shape, or form why we lost. But I mean, to me, I don't get it. I mean,
Yeah,
Jez explains what it's all about, but I don't get that. It's a professional foul, but if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, someone said in the watch along earlier on, do you think the referees have got lazy because basically they're expecting the VAR to do all the work for them?
100%.
100%. We explained that last night, didn't we, Yeti, on your show?
Yeah.
We explained it
did.
last night.
Yeah.
And the referees have got lazy. At the end of the day, if there's a VAR decision, and I've said it on Jez's show, I said it on our show, and even Yeti's show as well. I said if the referee doesn't agree with the decision that VAR is called within the box, why can't the referee? Well, they can, but why won't the referee override that decision? Because after all, it's the referee that's got he's got control of the game. Personally,
He's the one who was on the pitch, isn't he? At the end of the day,
yeah. So why can't the referee override the decision and all this and that? I don't know why. I just personally think it's a load of rubbish. I don't like VAR. I think get out the game. Listen, we're all human. If the referee makes a mistake in the game, so what? If it costs Arsenal, West Ham, Forest, Bournemouth, whatever, he's made a mistake. He's like what I said. We're all human. We all move on. But all this marginal stuff, like it's a bootlace, a nose hair, whatever. I don't hold with that. If basically it should be a foot. If the whole foot is offside from the tip of the toe to the back of the heel, yes, you are offside.
yeah.
But if it's marginal, you can let that go. And also, it ain't just the referees thing that's got lazy. It's the linesmen's as well.
Yeah.
We've seen it in games when they flagged and VAR hasn't even given it. So it's like now, VAR checks for possible offside. It's very rare now. You see a linesman wave his flag because he knows they knew VAR is going to be called into it. So it's not just the referees getting their jobs easy, it's the linesmen's as well. So I think do away with it, get out of your laziness, and referee a game. That's all they got to do. The best thing they've done is goal line technology. I'm 100% behind goal line technology. And also, what happened was we used to get these little monitors at the side where the managers was on the side of the pitch. The referee used to walk up to that and look at the monitor itself. Within 30 seconds, bang, the referee made a decision. Now we got to wait 5 to 10 minutes. So when that ball goes back into play and they're playing, the referee walks up to a player and books him 10 minutes after that tackle or whatever is done. So why is that? Book him there and then, not 10 minutes after.
No, exactly.
That's what roils me.
We need to. What we need to do. We need to like start a movement. We call it MOGA. Make officials great again.
Yeah.
I love that one. James, good evening to you, mate. How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we all? Hope everyone's well.
Oh,
Not
good,
too
mate.
bad, right?
All good. All good.
Cheer up, lads. Fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Matt should be buzzing. He won 4-0 or 5-0.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't, should I?
The Arsenal boys got a fucking secured 3 points, and Longhead Yeti should be really happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm loving it, mate. Loving life.
And me and Ton are happy because we got Potter, but then we realised we got Sullivan in charge. So there you go. What were we all saying?
First of all, we were just covering on the Arsenal game, the Skelly sending off.
Yeah.
And we've asked for views on that. So last year as well, if just come in, what did you make of the sending off yourself?
I'll see it once, if you want me to be honest. I ain't gonna lie. I'll see it once, and I think it's a bit soft, isn't it? Let's be real. The game is slowly becoming very, very woke. Very, very like you can't even touch a player now. Do you know what I mean? So I make mine pretty short and sweet. The referees are shit, mate. Look at us today. Look at Peter Banks today was awful for us, and I can only sort of speak on today's game. But the refereeing in this country needs to be sorted out. It's the best league on the planet, but we've got the worst officials on the planet, and that makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? And it ain't that. It's basic refereeing skills. Do you know what I mean? And it's like knowing the game. Do you know what I'm saying? It feels like people are reading it out of a book rather than experience it in live. And for me, it needs to change, if I'm being honest.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony said like he'll love to see VAR gone, but I think unfortunately it's here to stay. They're not going to take it out at this stage.
I think VAR is a good thing to have, yeah, but I think you've got to have people that know how to use it. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? I think VAR works when when people know the game.
JB.
Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, some people just don't know the game. Some of these referees and these people in the as the tech geezers, right? They've read it out of a book and they're going by their laws of the game rather than the actual game itself. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think VAR is a good thing. I think it does sort of numb down their mistakes, but I do think also that VAR is at fault for having bad refs because they rely on the VAR too much to get them out of shit when they get it wrong. Do you know what I mean? And they should know VAR should be a bonus. That should be an extra, right? They should know how to ref a game out.
Yeah.
And I think VAR is right, but I think the people need to be better who's running it.
Yeah. True, isn't it? Yeah, very true. I'm just looking at the game here. The Fulham Man United game still 0-0. Man United would be very happy to take a point out of this game. It's not looking good at all at the moment, I must admit. So where does Bournemouth go from here, Matt? Because if you look at it, you've got a manager that's obviously got in your team playing. Do you keep hold of him, or do you think someone are coming in for him?
Yeah. Obviously, Spurs are rumoured to be looking at him. Obviously, with Ange's result today, I watched a bit of that game, and you could tell Spurs fans aren't very happy. So, yeah, it looks like at some point, I mean, he is with the style and of his play and what he's actually doing with Bournemouth. He's obviously putting himself in the shop window just as much as our players are at the minute. And unfortunately, we all know how football works. And at some point, I think a big club is going to come knocking for him. I just hope it's not anytime soon, and we can see the season out with him, at the very least. But obviously, I'd like to see him stay at the club for a very long time. But he did a cracking job at his previous club. He always seems to have done well with the underdog clubs. So he's got something about him with what he does with the players. Man-to-man sort of management of the players, and whatever he's doing on the training field is obviously paying off dividends on the pitch. But unfortunately, I mean, I try not to think about it too much, but when you're realistic, there is going to be a big club coming in at some point for his services without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'll start with the Arsenal boys, then I'll ask you, and then ask James. Would you have Ariola taken over from Arteta? Jez, Anthony?
Say it again, go on.
So, Ariola for the Bournemouth manager, would you have him take over from Arteta? If Arteta, say for instance, Arteta wins nothing this year and you're all praying for a miracle and they sack him, would you take Ariola in a heartbeat, or would you consider anyone else?
I'd take anybody over Arteta, mate. I'll tell you one player. I'll tell you I would take Graham Potter. That's for sure. He's joined you boys, but yeah, I mean, come on. We all got to be realistic here as Arsenal, the Arsenal fans, right? This guy has gone as far as he can go, and if he's got any decency about him, he will, at the end of the season, which I know he's not going to. I know he's not going to, because he's not going to walk away from 15 million a year, right? Who would do that? But that's Arsenal's football club's fault for rewarding failure. Why do you get a pay rise and an extended contract when you ain't done nothing? None of us, I mean, I don't work anymore, but nobody of you guys that do work are failing at your job will get an extension or a pat on the back and say, well done, lads. Well done. You've done an excellent job. Tony, you work at an airport, right? Yeah. You damage one of them bloody aircraft because of you done something stupid. They're not going to thank you for it, are they?
Not at all, mate.
You're smashing up a bloody aeroplane, right?
They want Tony out. They want.
I mean, come on, you'd be up in front of the management the next morning. What the fuck are you doing, Tony? What are you doing here? And I'm sorry, the
Tell you the vandal.
problem is now Arteta's got too much power, and it's quite clear because Edu has almost admitted it. The reason he got out because he didn't like the fact of Arteta's extended contract, and he's now the powerhouse at Arsenal. This is where it's all going rat shit now, right? We had that with Wenger, right? He had too much power. What is this board doing? Surely, if you own the football club, you want to have something to say about it. Surely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
If I owned them, if I was Josh Kroenke, right, with all the money, yeah, I own the club, I'd be questioning what I'm seeing here. But the problem, like your question was, would I take the Bournemouth manager? Yeah, he's better. Look at what he's done for Bournemouth. Look what they're doing. They're probably going to get Europe next year, and I hope they do. I don't know if that's the first. Is that the first time Bournemouth would have been in Europe? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So, fucking fair play to Bournemouth. Good luck. And I would wish them all the best, being an English team. It'll be tough, but good luck. Well done. It's going to bring a shed load of money into them, which they probably need.
Yeah.
But the problem, I'm going to shut up in a minute. The problem is with Arsenal, Arteta is a narcissist, right? He's got too much power. He gets too much credit for failure.
Yeah.
That's it.
1-0 United.
Oh, what a goal as well.
I just want to say this and what you're saying about the Bournemouth manager. Yeah, the only thing I will say is he's going to have to do it next season.
Yes,
that's the only thing I would. Yeah, because we've seen it so many times in the Premier League. A manager will go and do it one season, then the following season they're not as good. People were raving about Gary O'Neill last year. Yeah, and saying like, look at him at Wolves and everything, and he doesn't even last. You know what I mean? Listen, I think he's a good manager. Don't get me wrong. I think Bournemouth have got some very good players, and I think what they're doing there with the ownership and buying the players that they've got, like the Kirkezes and like your Kluiverts and things like that, they're building something there. But I do feel that can Spurs really go in and get him now, or would they rather wait and see how he gets on? I think with Ange, he's got a bit of an attitude problem, but I do think he's a bit unlucky to a point. He hasn't got his natural defence, and he's a bit all over the gaff at the minute. Like, unless he's failing with his best team, then I can understand it. But I don't think I think Ange should have a 10-year deal, stay there for the rest of his life, and hopefully get relegated. But that's just me. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, Spurs fans, but you know what I mean. Justice.
That's true. Yeah.
Justice for Lasagna Gate.
I reckon he'd be gone. It won't surprise me if you've got. You've got to think of it. A team like Tottenham, right? If you lose to a team of Leicester, a team that, let's be honest, they'll most probably get relegated at the end of this season. Leicester City, right? If you're losing to a team like that, you're in trouble. Yeah. So it makes you think Tottenham Hotspur is in trouble. Good. And people say it is good, but people say it's a pair of all three. It comes down to the owner, to the manager, and to the players. Yeah, I do admit he has been hit with injuries, and he's got product youth on the bench coming on. Mm-hmm. We would like to see a little bit of that at Arsenal because we haven't really got much depth there. But yeah, it's struggling times. But all I'm going to say is everybody says, because they got Liverpool next to Tottenham, and if they lose, all the Tottenham fans are saying he'd be sacked after the Liverpool game. Personally, I think he should be sacked after this game. But in the minute, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing at the minute. I know Fuzzy's not there because obviously, his team ain't doing well this season. He's having an effect on him. But yeah, so with Man United and Tottenham down towards the bottom, I mean they're down towards relegation more so than trying to claim a place in Europe. Do you know what I mean? That's Europa League or Europa Conference League. But yeah, I'm enjoying it at the minute. But for the other question, Tim, for the Bournemouth manager, don't get me wrong, I reckon he's a good manager. But last season, they struggled a bit. And I think if I'm right, was his job on the line at one time last season because of the due to results?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. The first 9 games of the season didn't go too well for us. And it was rumoured to believe that if he hadn't have won the Burnley game, then he would have been skating on thin ice. In fairness, though, 9 games, he was trying to implement his philosophy. You could see that the football was going to be good. It just needed something to click. And the game after the Burnley performance wasn't great, but we grinded out that win that's sort of took the pressure off him a bit. And then we played Newcastle the following week, and it was wonderful football. And we got the win. So, yeah. The first 9 games or so, yeah, he was under a bit of pressure. But in fairness, he did need some time to kind of, bed in his ways. And obviously he had a few new signings as well. So, sometimes things take time to click. And Craig was very, at the time, I could remember Craig saying, this guy isn't right for the job. But I just had a little bit of belief in me. I thought as soon as something clicks, it's going to work. And this season it has really clicked. And it is really working. But I think, the point about him probably needing another season, I think is spot on as well, because, it'd be interesting to see if he can do something again next season. If he was to get plucked by Tottenham, who says he's going to go there and be a success there? Because I think that's a very difficult club to go in and manage.
And the thing is on that
market.
I just want to say this quickly, yeah, and I'll let you carry on, mate. Yeah, the thing is, if he goes to Spurs, he could ruin his career.
Absolutely, yeah. I totally agree with you. I think
if
I was in his position with the way I've got this team playing, and then you look at Spurs and you look at the history of Spurs, it's a big career risk, I think, to take that job on for him at the moment. And if we do qualify for Europe, it'd be good to see how he does with us in Europe. But most importantly for me, how we continue in the Premier League, because that's the bread and butter, and that's the most important thing from my perspective. It'd be great to go into Europe. It'd be a fairy tale. It really will. But for me, the important thing for me is the Premier League. That's the bread and butter. That's what's going to bring the majority of the money into the club.
That's the main thing. Yeah. One other thing, Matt. Who's going to finish higher this season, Bournemouth or Nottingham Forest? Yeah, you can say.
Well, after yesterday, I would say probably us. No, but in fairness, Forest have had a brilliant season, haven't they? Forest. Let's be honest. Nuno's done a cracking job there. I mean, yesterday I actually predicted that we'd come away with a draw, and I thought that would be a very good result yesterday. In fairness, so to watch us sort of pick them apart, and Clive be unplayable and Dongo unplayable yesterday. He scored the hat trick. I was overwhelmed by the 5-0 yesterday. But yeah, it's a long way to go, isn't it? I mean, it was an off day for Forest.
I wouldn't even say that. That's not doing you any favours, because you was better than us on the day. At the end of the day, it weren't
absolutely, yeah.
At all. You was just a better side.
Yeah, I mean, could I see Forest getting top 4? Probably not. But then again, a lot of people will be saying, can they see Bournemouth get Europe? And they're probably saying probably not.
No, exactly the same thing.
Who knows?
I mean, funny enough, I had my predictions we do, I had it down as a 2-2 myself, because I thought, it'd be very, you knew there'd be goals in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because when you see the scoreline afterwards, and it's like, am I reading that right? Don't see. It's like you didn't expect it.
There was all offside anyway, but
but look, every team, and we've all been there. West Ham more than most. You have a blip that happens every now and then. We just do a bit more than we're a bit more special at doing it. Just going to Howard's one there. Has anyone checked on Fuzzy? Fuzzy's fine. Had a bit of a long weekend working wise. He's back and working tomorrow, so he's taking a bit of a time out. And he's probably crying into his chocolate milk, even though they're 1-0 up at the moment.
Yeah, he's crying, Tim. He's crying.
Man, Daz is asking, and there's a few other comments I've starred. We're going to go in a moment, but I'll ask this one first of all. Do you think Andrew will get the job? And I think we've all agreed that he probably will be going. It more likely, we're not surprised it'll be this week, if not, as you said before, the Liverpool game.
Can I say something about Areola?
Of course you can, absolutely.
Terrible manager, can't stand him, plays crap football, and needs to get rid of him.
JB's asking this question to James. Did you think it was odd Mings caught the ball and then told the referee he was injured? You can't do that, for fuck's sake.
I thought the referee was terrible today, mate. I'm not going to lie. But I think that is what changed the game for West Ham, to be honest. Mings going off and them only having one natural centre half there and a load of fullbacks. It evened the game up for us to a point. And what done my nutting is when Kilman comes off. No, Mings comes off the first time. And he's coming back on and off and on. And then West Ham get the ball and play it sideways and back. I'm thinking, for fuck's sake, just get it forward. They've got one centre half at the club.
Can't even get that part right.
Yeah, and, but I do think that was key to us getting something at the game.
Just going to on this one because this is an interesting one, and it's a bit of an amazing price tag. Emily's just saying about FSG want to sell Liverpool for $6 billion. Who's got $6 billion chump change? Bloody hell!
I'll check my bank account. I doubt it. Not this week.
You did say you come into a couple of quid, James. So
yeah.
I can give £6 to it if the rest of you can.
And will Mbembo leave in the window or possibly in the summer? I think he's bound to leave.
Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be the case there. Where are we now? Steve Bell saying good evening to yourself. Bloody hell, we've still got to play Bournemouth at home.
Good luck, mate.
Colin Ted Bodger saying, can Mark Oliver please referee every Arsenal game just to teach those people that you cannot make threats and abuse to person if there is no referee, there is no game. Champions League and Europa League knockout round draws on Friday morning, 11 a.m. Why is it always 11 a.m? Stupid time. Colin saying, I'm very happy with Potter, but honestly, I've loved Areola at West Ham. Yeah.
He's a good manager. I don't want to knock him. I don't. But I've seen this so many times. We all have. Like, it's perfect time for a minute. Let's be honest. Man United are a bit of a mess. Spurs are a bit of a mess. We're a bit of a mess. Brighton ain't exactly firing on all cylinders. And I think Bournemouth have just gone through a lot of them and got to where they are. Do you know what I mean? I want Bournemouth to get Conference League. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for them. And if they get Conference League, they could go on to win it. If they can qualify for it. But I do think with a manager changing club, especially a club that he's built on his own, I think it's a very risky situation to do because you see it so many times when these managers go to these other clubs and the pressure is completely different to what it is at Bournemouth. I don't know about what Matt thinks, but what pressure really is he under at Bournemouth? None really, from what I'm seeing. He always got to do is make sure they keep him in the league and keep progressing every year. And if anything, he's overachieving really for where he is. But if he's achieving like that now, then give him another year in the Premier League. If he does it again, then he's worth thinking about. If anyone thinks, I'll tell you a place where I think he could go. People might go, fucking, you're mad, James. Would not surprise me if he went to City in the future.
Yeah. Funny you should say that because I've read a few articles this week and apparently City do admire what he's doing at Bournemouth at the minute. So it looks like he is on City's radar. But no, I mean, he needs, like you say, you're talking sense. He needs another season at Bournemouth to see what else he can do for another season and what we can achieve next year. And like you say, if he does something similar again, then people will definitely be sniffing around him. And
what it is, he'd be consistent, wouldn't he? That's what it is.
Yeah.
And consistency,
isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Same with Nuno. He's got something to live up to next season.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Because I mean, funny when we talked just a minute ago about Areola with Bournemouth, and as James said, the second season, look how it's turned out for Forest. I mean, Nuno, as you know, the first season very hit and miss, and no doubt his job was on the line. This season, man, you got to mind what he's done there. You know, and fair play to Forest because been long overdue, innit? Was it 20 odd years?
23 years.
23 years, and and we're seeing what they're doing there, and it's good to see it back. Whereas if you look at another club that's 21 years without a trophy, near enough, and
it's nice to see the so-called small clubs getting some respect, because they call Bournemouth a small club, they call us a small club, they call Fulham a small club, and it's nice to actually see them getting a bit of respect and actually being up in that section up there as well. Respect us, man. Respect us, and we'll make you respect us.
Well, I don't know if you saw the comment earlier. Someone in the chat, and we obviously know it was a piss take, but when he said West Ham are the small club in London kind of thing, we'll take that all day
West Ham was a sleeping giant in there, mate. It's just our owner was the problem. With Potter right now, I would say this, that we've got the right man in place for what we need to do. Well, we need a builder at our club. We need someone to build the side up and integrate the youth, because we've got a good youth set up there. The issue is our owner. It's more likely our owner's going to self-destruct this one rather than Potter. I can see Potter being here for another 3-4 years, easy.
No, really I agree on that. Just going to give JB a bit of advice here. Tony, I need your advice, mate. Shagging this Chinese girl, she keeps calling her ex's name out during sex. She shouts, "Run hole, do a lever." No, you stay with her, mate. You stay with her.
Stay with her.
What a man, isn't it? Relationship advice on Early Doors Football TV. Subscribe.
It's all go there. Not bad at all. I'll start off with you, Jez. Your manager. I don't know if you saw the press conference when he was asked about getting a striker and how he got easily offended by it. What did you make of that one?
Well, the guy's a prick, mate. Let's just put it down. I can't be bothered listening to the idiot, to be honest. I mean, we've heard everything, all the crap that comes out of his mouth about striker. He said it last summer. We don't need a striker. And now, well, we're actively looking maybe to do, it's just bullshit. And I'm fed up with listening to the idiot. Because, we're trying to do business. Okay, what business are you doing then? What, you're going to buy a cat instead of a dog? Because that's about all you are. Levels of. The man's a fool. An absolute fool. And I've got no time for him at all. I don't believe one word that comes out of that guy's mouth. He just talks in riddles. The press conferences, I don't know why they bother having them, because he would be perfect in politics. He deflects every question. So I've no faith in what he tells me, because I don't believe him. The man is just an idiot. And will we get a striker? No. Not in this window.
Yeah, you see it coming a mile off, can't you? Brendan, I will come back to your comment. We're just going to talk about this article first of all. But yeah, I agree with you, Jez. I mean, the things he said over the last month and that, I mean, as an Arsenal fan, you must kind of cringe when you hear him open his mouth. I mean, Anthony, what did you make of your manager as well as Jez?
He's an asshole. Let's be honest. He was on my telly the other night, and he was walking backwards at the time. And I did think it was an asshole on my screen. But I mean, Wednesday, Tim, when I said that, when I found out that Mikel Arteta, we've gone from win the dog to pickpocketing to squeezing lemons. Fucking Samba.
Yoga.
And yoga. I mean, what's that? Why do you want to do yoga and Samba before a game? You want to have your mind. It's not that. To me, it rests the mind. You want to have you got to have a certain mindset when you walk out of that tunnel onto the pitch. You want to be at 100%, up here. You want to be thinking about how you're going to play the game, how we're going to win the game. You do things like that, you're going to loosen up and all that. You're not going to be as a player, aren't you? You're going to feel so relaxed. Let's be honest. I just don't get where he's coming from. And some of these people turns around and says, "Oh yeah, but he's the man. He's doing this. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's doing stuff with the team. You know, he's improving us." Well, let me guess. This transfer window finishes the 3rd of February. That's on a Monday, right?
Yep.
So we're now into, what was it today? The 27th? 27th of January. 27 days gone into this first month, right? We haven't signed one player. Not one. If Mikel Arteta wants to win the Premier League, he's got to sign at least 2 or never 3. I mean, we got Sterling at our club. I mean, I played on Sterling. He's absolutely crap. I've actually said to Jez, I said, why don't we bomb Sterling out, right, and call back Reece Nelson from Fulham? At least that it might be. It's not the answer, but at least we have someone bit better than Sterling playing on the right. I mean, Sterling looks like a lost soul out there on the right. You know, he don't do nothing. It's hard for him to cross in a ball. But now, because we're paying his wages and he's paying Tottenham's, Chelsea's paying his wages as well, you know, he's got it made. So he knows he's on the bench. He's gone to another London team. It's a waste of space having him there. So we need a striker as well. He's worried too. He's worried in case he doesn't get a striker. That's what it is. And I'll be honest with you, nobody's going to sell their best players halfway through the season. So the only thing we can do is if we want to get a striker, we got more chance of loaning one, but with a possible buy. But who do we loan? If we can't buy one, where are we going to loan one from? Because it's like what I said, nobody is going to get rid of their best players at all halfway through the season. So personally, I don't think we're already going to get anything, or more likely be another midfielder, if anything. You know, just be that one. No, I don't want Rashford at my club. I don't want nowhere near it. With his wages, bloody hell, we won't get rid of him. With his wages, if he was poor, he could come to us. So it's like what I said. I think we're better off. I think we're better off not giving the guy any more money to spend, because he spends it on shite. All the players that we bought, we can never ever sell a player for a profit. It's always a loss. Jez, I tell you, it's always a loss. It's pointless. Don't bother buying anybody. Leave it this season and just play the season out. And that's my advice, because we ain't going to win the Premier League anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. But then again, you see, mate, when you've got people like Pete Hayward in the chat, Arteta has massively improved us. We would never have had talks about winning the league without him. We would be table. That sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you've got absolute arse-wipes like that support him, then what the hell? There you go.
That's true. That's true. So, yeah, Man United had 1 goal ruled offside, and this is an interesting one because you've got the Fulham players' arms sticking out and the players just behind that, but they've still ruled it offside. But Man United won the game 1-0. Again, Martinez scoring the goal for Man U.
Yeah, it took a deflection, didn't it? But it looked quite nice.
Yeah, but good goal. Well taken goal, yeah. DJ Crane saying, and big up to you as well, Tone. What a waste of money. Reece on 100k, but let's pay Sterling 185k a week.
There you go.
Oh, there's that comment he's on about, Jez. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Massively improved.
Plus a £6 million loan fee for Sterling as well. Jesus wept. That says it all. Good evening, Lisa. They will sell if you go with the right cash, not a spare style bid. Yeah, true. Ace is saying Rashford has agreed to take a pay cut to join Barcelona on loan. Not surprised with that money.
Oh, thank God for that.
325,000. Jesus.
You'll hijack it. You'll hijack it before it happens, Anthony.
No. If it happens, Yeti, I'm not going on any more shows. I'll tell you that, mate.
Henry's asking the question: should the window be open all season to buy or sell loan players?
It used to be, didn't it? Back in the day.
Did indeed. Man United have gone past. They've gone up to 12th now, 29 points. We've gone back to 14th, 27 points, in level with Palace.
They lost today, didn't they, Palace?
Yes, yeah, some weird results. There's some weird results out there. Joanne saying hello to Yeti mate and Jez. Good evening to Joanne.
How you doing, Joe?
Thoughts on the game as of next weekend for the Arsenal boys?
Actually, I've actually hang on. I've forgotten.
Man City. You got Man City next week.
Yeah.
Is it? Have you got Genoa this week as well?
Yeah,
yes, Wednesday.
Yeah, Genoa. Yeah. Last game in the Champions League qualifying, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Arsenal should beat them quite comfortably.
I wouldn't even play our first team players, Jez, in that game. Wouldn't even play them. I'll save them for the Man City game.
Well, he should do. We've qualified, so we don't need actually. We've qualified for the last 16, so we don't need to put a full team out. Put the boys out against Genoa, Girona, or what you want to call them. But
Granola, that's a cereal.
Yeah, it's typical Arsenal, isn't it? We got Man City home this weekend, and as it always happens, they've hit their normal peak start of the new year. They do it every bleeding time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Don't they? They'll have a little bit of a drift off before Christmas. Then all of a sudden, after start of the new year, they kick into gear. And we've got them this weekend. Well, God help us. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, you say that, Jez, but Steve Bill's let you know this as well. He's put here, watch out, lads. Do you know I've got Maxwell Cornet as well now? So he's going to brace you guys as well.
It's Girona.
Yeah. Well, we already signed a 62-year-old backer. You know, that was one of the surprise signings that West Ham have come up with. They've also gone and raided this retirement closet, and Pepsi's saying West Ham to sign Akanak and Fenwa out of retirement. Yeah, it's easy. Get the big man up top. We'll be fine. Yes, they're all saying about the City defeat incoming. Pete Hayward's asking you, as your manager not improved Forest then? Will you want him then sacked when you don't win the league? No, we're not as delusional, are you? As
no, I mean, clubs? we're not going to win no league, are we? Let's face it. But no, not really. But he's done more for our club than Arteta's done for yours. Well, you've got a dinner plate. What's next? You're going to get the fucking old cutlery set as well.
This is true. Henry's asking a question. Now we have this new format. Do you prefer it, or would you go back to the old 3 games in the Champions League?
I prefer it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant because
different teams, different standards, games, and that. Don't get me wrong. It took a while, most probably, for me to get used to it. But when you look at the format, it actually doesn't look that bad.
I think it's brilliant because if you look where Real Madrid are, right, and Barcelona, I think it's an excellent setup. I really do. And when you get like the qualification, the next last 16 setup, you've got, I can't remember who it is against who, but you're going to get teams like 13 play 23 where they've finished, and it's a whole different mix. I think it's brilliant myself. I love it.
Lisa, what about a 1 year from Forest to West Ham? Would you take him, James? A 1 year?
Nah, not for me. Not for me. I think we need to be aiming younger, fitter, fresher, and I'd rather our owner spend some money on something that's going to be long term rather than short term. I'm honest.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Not for me.
Yeah, I do agree on that.
Yeah, seeing fucking have him. He scored your goals.
Yeah, he's like, I'll drive him down the motorway for you. Turn on.
I said earlier on, mate, he'd probably get injured getting in the car.
Well, it was reported on X that he did come down on a train, so we got art on shots. Do you know what I mean? So,
Pepsi's saying the old format league winners only. Yeah, it increases the game load though. It does. That's the thing, Lisa. I mean, but it's what makes it more entertaining in that respects. Colin's saying, Jez and Anthony, I'm actually hearing that Mateus Cunha is trying to force a move to the Arsenal.
Don't need him. We need a striker. We don't need another midfielder. Yeah, sorry. No.
Yeah, he slots him. Do you know what? If we were to get him, and the only way to play him would be in a 4-2-3-1 formation, not 4-3-3. I don't like the 4-3-3. Play him in behind the striker, because I tell you what, when we did that with Odegaard, I can remember when he got us 15 goals. Yeah, that was the best season we had out of Odegaard. The rest of them, nah. I go on and off. Go on.
You know that, Anthony. He's not going to replace Odegaard. Odegaard's every game. Right. Fact. Yeah. And so I don't see the point of splashing cash on somebody like that. No, sorry, I don't agree with it, because I don't trust the manager with another penny, to be honest.
Yeah.
Matty, one for you here. Look, Brendan's asking, Bournemouth are coping with a number of injuries. Is this because the squad all buy in to the style and tactics?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I think the thing is he seems to have this thing about him, Iriola, where he can seem to encourage a player, and like Dango's leading our front. Dongo, sorry, spelt Dango, pronounced Dongo. Dongo's leading the front line for us.
I have to interrupt you there, Matt, because you saying that. What's the song you sing to him? Is it Dingo Dongo? Is it? Oh. No, not quite. But he's leading the line for us. I mean, he's a winger, and he's not looking out of place up front. Obviously, he proved that yesterday with his hat trick. So at the moment, we are coping. And Iriola is playing like he's playing Lewis Cook, our defensive midfielder, as a right back at the minute, because we've got no fit right backs. And bizarrely, this is one thing I have questioned, is that we loaned out our only fit right back during this transfer window. So we're now playing a defensive midfielder at right back, but he don't look out of place at right back, to be honest. So at the moment, we're coping. We've had one more player come back off the injury list. So I think we've got 10 first-team players out injured. So it's going to be difficult to carry on, with such a bare-thin squad. I think yesterday, 6 of our substitutes were development squad players. So, it's going to be difficult long-term. We need to get some of these players fit and, back into the squad again. But at the moment we're coping, and I think that's down to Iriola's man management, really. But long term it's going to be difficult, and that's where I think potentially our bubble is sort of at risk of bursting if we can't get some of these first team players back.
Bloody hell, Budgie, where have you been on the pool? He's got his cover on. He's got his cover on the pool.
It's so fucking cold out there.
Easy, mate, anyway.
Good evening. My apologies for being late. I had every intention of being on time, but I apologise.
No worries, mate. You're here. That's the main thing. Terence is saying, when will Hammer owners stop treating us like twats and tell us if we're buying anyone? Because I'm annoyed of hearing people saying, I've heard. It's just,
it's people want to be right too many times, and they want to be first. And I'd rather be right than first. Do you know what I mean? So we need to make sure that we get some players in, and it's all over to the owner, mate. If I'm honest,
it's true. It's true. I mean, like I said, when I come in yours E20 early on.
Yeah,
the fact that we're supposed to have this Ezekiel Benzuzi kind of thing, and I don't know, he's either got diverted because of the storm, but we ain't seen him since.
It's embarrassing, mate. Like, I'm not being funny, nothing, right? You got a new manager in there, needs help. And we're going up there today, Villa Park, with a left back at centre half, a right back at centre half, right? And we've got a sort of attacking midfielder up front. Like, it's all just scrambled about. Do you know what I'm saying? And what irritates me, and I hear when people say, like Jez says about Arsenal near strike and everything, we're the 17th richest club in the world. And we haven't even got a fucking striker. We haven't got no defenders. We've got fucking no one. Like, it's like they've all been clubbed together to play a cup game.
That's
Like,
the other 16 have all nabbed them, James.
yeah, I know. Bastards, aren't they?
You know what I mean? But I thought today was actually quite a refreshing performance from our boys. I thought second half particularly was a really good performance. That's how I felt.
Completely agree.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I thought we was up against it in the first 10, 15 minutes, but after they had that little spell, I thought we was well in the game. And I think us getting to half time, I think Mings going off, I said it earlier on, helped us massively, because then it turned the game as a 50-50 game rather than a 75-25 game that it was looking like. And then second half is probably one of the best. I think it's the best performance of the season. The second half, really, against the Villa side, 1-0 down, and we're throwing everything at them. And another day, we nab a goal at the end, and we should have had a penny at the end and all. Like, Paqueta gets pulled down, and let's not talk about referees, lads. Do you know what I mean?
This is true. Yeah,
With
that's another
the camera from behind the goal, so to speak, you could see there was a definite tug on the shirt. Definite, you know what I mean? The middle of his shirt came out, you know. So it was pretty obvious that he was pulled back. But VAR had obviously looked at it and gone, nah, not having it. But then that's what happens when you got a player that play acts. You know?
That's the problem, because he did it in the first half, didn't he? Quite a bit. He fell up with the deck quite a few times, and you get a name for yourself. As Arsenal know with Saka, unfortunately. Todd St. Louis, Jess, is one for you. The next Arsenal manager, I hope he chooses Gabriel Magalhaes to be the captain, as he leads like a captain. Martin Odegaard can leave and play someone else in. All he does is rub his snot in his ear.
Totally agree. Gabriel, actually, I'm one of these people. I've always believed that the best position for a captain is in defence.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're watching up the park all the time. They can see exactly what's happening. They can see the play. Yeah, we've had some great Arsenal captains. Right. All right. There's been a couple of great midfield Arsenal captains over the years. I can't discount that. But we've had some great Arsenal captains over the many years I've watched Arsenal in defence. Odegaard, to me, is not captain material. He's too quiet. He doesn't talk enough. He disappears out of games. And that is not captain material for me. Sorry. You know,
I agree on that.
The thing is, Arsenal went out and paid £105 million for a captain.
100%.
Yeah, true.
Who Arteta's ruining. He's ruining the man.
Completely.
James, that's what Arteta does, mate. That's what he does.
Ruins players.
Potter's the builder, and Arteta's the fucking demolition man. 100%.
Got to feel sorry for old Joanne here. Look, she goes, Arsenal must be really getting to me as I've shaved my hair off with all the stress. God, dear me.
Wow. That's a big dream, Joanne.
Joanne says, Budgie got a James Bond t-shirt and strokes Arteta's shirt. And,
No. This actually, I'm going to explain now. Look, I'm going to put the camera down a bit. It's actually a Timberland jumper with a hoodie on.
Nice.
Some cheap, nasty hoodie.
Because, as always with you, Budgie, Howard's followed up with, have you been out delivering milk trays?
Yeah, it's a milk tree man, isn't it? All because you love West
The
Ham.
lady loves milk tray.
West Ham fan by day, milk tray man by night.
Budgie,
You know that, yeah.
You know that. Go buy a box and ask them for delivery, mate. You think so?
Sweetheart, listen, I know the milk tray man. Do you want one?
Big up to Nico Carinti. He said, big up panel from Snowy, Sweden. Big up to yourself. We have no striker, but we have blonde girls who strikes harder than Arteta's teams. We'll have that all day long. That's good for us.
Right.
There's a few comments I'm going to come back to, and I'll see one there from Lisa as well. Where is it there? Daz's first one is Sullivan going to spend his money on a striker?
Oh, good question. Probably, yeah, but he'd probably waste his money again.
Yeah, that's very true.
I have a question for Jez and Anthony.
Go on, you go first, Budge, and I'll come in this one after.
Sorry, yeah. What is it about your squad that is really frustrating most of all at the moment?
Our squad.
Manager.
Like during the game. I mean, what is it you think you're lacking in, like at the moment? Like, is it midfield or defence?
Striker. I think we're not too bad in defence. I think it's striking. To be honest with you.
So, do you agree with that, Jez?
I do agree with that. But
Isn't it weird how we're saying the same thing? We need strikers, right? Or at least a striker. The man in the middle there, the quiet fella in the middle there, he's quietly sitting on a couple of strikers, one of which we've been looking at, Awoniyi, and I think we should go and get him. He's keeping quiet because he knows that he's there and he's available. You don't rate him, James?
Nah. He'll get injured signing the contract, Budgie.
He will get injured walking into the fucking training ground. Do you know what I mean? Nah, listen,
Sorry,
I understand
we've got writer's cramp.
Oh, mate, yeah. Fucking writer's block and all.
Is that injury prone?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah.
A gust of wind and he's out for 2 months. So, you know, it is what it is. And we've got a fucking storm at the minute, innit? But listen, I understand we need a centre forward. Don't get me wrong, but I do think it has to be the right centre forward. I don't want us to go down the road of giving a player like Awoniyi, nothing against the man, a contract, a big contract, and have a Danny Ings situation part 2. That's one thing we've got to learn from the Danny Ings one, where we rushed that one and we're paying him 125 grand a week. So for all you people that ain't got a striker, Danny Ings, 125 grand, let that sink in. Do you know what I mean? Just good. The sort of silence there says it all. So here you go. That's how you steal a living, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I mean, what about what's his face? The other lad that came up yesterday. Who was it that was brought up yesterday? Somebody in the pub. Oh yeah. I said that I thought he was too old, although 2 years ago I was screaming for us to go and get him. Was Iwobi. Right, and I said he's a worker, he gets himself in positions and stuff, but now his age is starting to like belie his ability. You know what I mean? But 2 years ago I was all for us going to get him.
Can I ask the question to the Arsenal fans, right? Don't get me wrong, I've seen some of the shit that Arteta's come out with, especially about the football and fucking the dog and, you know, I mean, all these training ground shit and blaming, saying that the Charity Shield is like a trophy when that's quite embarrassing. But how long do you think realistically is going to progress with him? I.e. from now moving forward, because I don't think the Cronkies are going to sack him, mate, anytime soon. Like, so how long do you see it going on for before they actually do wake up and realise that this geezer ain't the guy for you? Because I'll be straight, I don't think he's the guy for Arsenal. I think he set Arsenal to a level. I think, and you've got to give him credit for that. He took you from like nowhere up to the level where you're at. I don't think he can match a Pep Guardiola or Slot or anyone like that. I just don't see it. I might be wrong in the future, but I just don't see it. What are you saying, Jez?
I totally agree with you, mate. The problem we have here is the guy, I mentioned it earlier, mate. He's got too much power. He's got, and they've allowed him that. That's the problem. and you can only blame the management for letting him have that power. The problem is they've rewarded failure, and that is a massive, massive, massive concern to me. That you give somebody a new contract when you've done nothing. You know, you come second, all this, all that bullshit. We know, we've heard it all, right? But at the end of the day, you've not achieved what you said you were going to do. You've ruined players. You've let players walk out the door for no money when you could have got more money. He's pissed players off. I can't really think of that many players at Arsenal. In fact, I can't even think of one that he's actually improved. Most of the players I've seen at Arsenal have regressed. He has ruined players, i.e., he did it with Tierney, he did it with Partey, he's done it with Saka, he's done it with Jesus. Now, out of all them players, who do I rate the most? Probably Saka. We've lost him for the rest of the season. Now, this is the danger with this manager. No, he will be here, to answer your question, mate. He will be here until his contract runs out. They're not going to get rid of him.
Which is when?
They will get rid of him, right?
Got 2.5 years left.
30 years he'll be there.
30 years.
Okay, no.
The only time it will be is when the fans turn. That's when it will be, when they vote with their feet and they don't spend money at the Emirates.
It seems to me they already are, Joe.
I don't think yet. If you were to do a
It seems
poll,
to me the fans are already.
To a point.
I don't know.
But there's
Clever
still
one, though.
hardcore. There's still the hardcore Arteta sexuals. One was in the chat here tonight.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And people like that, all the time they will accept failure. And the reason they will accept failure, James, guys, is because they've never seen Arsenal win a league title.
See what it is from an outsider, because obviously I know a lot of Arsenal fans. I used to live in Hornsey, which is, anyone knows North London very, very well, is literally a stone throw away from Arsenal football ground. So when I used to walk around with West Ham shirt and Arsenal fans, we had some glorious days. I'm going to be honest. I think when I look at Arsenal, is they've been so close. They should be where Liverpool are right now. And what Slot's doing right now wasn't expected by Liverpool fans. If you'd have asked a Liverpool fan at the start of the season, where do you see Arne Slot get in Liverpool, they would have said, as long as we get top four, we're happy. I think the demise of City, the way City have just crumbled, I think Arsenal, every time they get in a sort of situation where they could potentially win the Premier League, they seem to buckle under the pressure. And I don't, whether that's experience, I don't know what it is, but there's a few times where Arteta's been in this situation. I remember a few years ago when you played us at the LS and you drew 2-2, and Saka missed a penalty, and you should have won the game clear as day, and we somehow come back and we drew the game. I don't think Arsenal have got the winning mentality of a winning manager. Like, I think this manager's a good manager for a lesser club. Yeah, if Arteta was managing Everton, for instance, I think that's his level. I think with Arsenal, he's got the firepower there within the money to go out and buy the best players he wants. Like, when you look at the signings that he's made, Jesus, Zinchenko, they're Man City cast-offs to a point. No disrespect to him, but they are. That's what they are. Like, if they're not good enough for Pep Guardiola, he's going in there and trying to nab whoever he can get. And I just look at it that he's just not on that level. And I think there's going to come a time where Arsenal are going to be in a situation where they're going to have to make a decision on it and go, you know what? Basically, this geezer can't take us further forward. And just admit it to a point. I think the easiest way to do it is to admit that he can't take you to the Premier League title. Like, you want to, like, there's believing it and then there's seeing it. And that's two different things. Like, you need to see it with your own eyes. Now, obviously, this season is not over yet. And let's be honest. Like, if Liverpool do collapse from this situation, I'll be very, very shocked. But even if Liverpool do collapse, I think Arsenal collapse and all. Like, I don't think Arsenal have got that instinct to go and do it.
That's the problem, James.
Yeah,
and I totally agree with what you're saying, because there's been times this season, and we've all seen it, Liverpool draw, Arsenal draw.
Yeah.
When Nottingham Forest beat Liverpool at Anfield, Arsenal lost.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We don't take the impetus to say, fucking hell, Liverpool lost. If I was the manager, right, of Arsenal Football Club, and I've just seen Nottingham Forest turn Liverpool over at home at Anfield, yes, first time, Yeti will tell us in a minute, 46 years, something like that, Yeti?
55.
55 years, right?
Loved every minute of it. Loved every minute of it.
But if I was that manager in the dressing room, right, I'd be throwing that right down the team's throat and say, right, Liverpool just been turned over by Nottingham Forest. You get out there. I just don't. This guy, I think the problem is, James, this guy talks in riddles. I mean, it's bullshit. All the bullshit things he's done. Bringing lemons in. Oh, squeeze all the juices out. Squeeze all the juices out. What the fuck is that about?
What was the one? I've got to be honest, yeah, because I do hear quite a few things, honestly. It is quite entertaining from a West Ham point of view, because when our club's fucking next to a mess, I do like to see what's going on at other clubs. But there was one time that he was it about pickpocketing or something? Please explain, Jez, for the audience. Go on.
Club dinner, right? Yeah. And he hired these professional ex-pickpockets, ex-cons, right, to go round and nick stuff. Right?
He hired them, but he ain't going to get a striker. That's all you need to know, isn't it?
It was his way of saying to the team, be aware. What the fuck is that about? What?
Jez, if you was a fully qualified pocket picker and you took Kai Havertz's ball, you fuck me, there's 250k in it. I'm fucking buy that.
Listen, James,
just be aware. Be aware. You know what I mean?
But the thing on that, James, I mean, obviously, as Anthony's alluded to, and that the thing is now, you know, samba music and yoga before the game.
Yeah. What is going on here?
Yeah, now, mate.
Maybe they should win Julie Andrews.
Sounds like a win-win scenario to me.
Oh, don't talk about win. They've got a dog called Win. Woof, woof. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
It's true for Mighty.
I mean, no wonder I see Arsenal fans wanting to smash up their telly, mate. It could be worse, lads. You know what I mean? It could be worse. Could lose.
Right. I don't know how many of you watched. I did watch it. The Amazon documentary about Arsenal. All that bullshit, right? When you look, I watched the Man City one, Tottenham and Arsenal, right? The Arsenal one has got to be the cringiest, most embarrassing of the three. When you listen to Pep Guardiola talk, I'm thinking, yeah, I get it. I get what he's telling me. I get it. When you've got when you've got Arteta walking in with a fucking light bulb.
The light bulb one's a classic, honestly. Carry on, Jez. I'm interested. Go on.
A light bulb, and then he's got the Arsenal club photographer giving the pre-match talk.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like a walking gimmick, isn't it?
It's a beggar's belief. Seriously, man.
What about the one when they're training? They're training. He's got the speakers out and they're blasting out. You never walk alone. And we have Liverpool. This is what we're going to hear around the stadium. Come on, lads. You've got to be psyched up and ready. We lost fucking 3-0.
Apparently, he's got Mystic Meg booked in for next month.
Yeah. What about the drawing on the thingy where he's going? This is the brain gaze. This is the brain gaze.
This is the brain gaze. This is the brain. Yeah, fucking.
I was dead. I was dead. You and the fans brought me back. What the fuck?
We were going down to your ground, West Ham, right? Apparently, I've been told this by somebody. I don't know how true it is. I don't know. Fact. He had on speaker with forever blowing bubbles and a fucking bubble machine at London.
That's who nicked our bubble machine, the bastards. We're looking at that bubble machine.
If it's not screwed down, James, it's gone.
You know what?
Well, we
I
don't want
would,
to buy it from a
I
fucking
would
paint
say
shop,
nick
or we
him,
could
but
nick
I
it.
want to keep him at Arsenal. So yeah.
You got the
That
pickpockets to nick
GoFundMe
it.
page was useful after all. Then
Oh, dear.
I'm
man.
convinced these players. Sorry, I'll shut up in a minute. I'm convinced these players at training must look at him and say, "What a wanker."
Well, Jez, you said it. I mean, when he did that bit, like you said about the brain and what you said about the other things, and the camera pans around the dressing room, and the look on the players' faces, you could definitely they were definitely saying, "What a wanker!" And it's like, "What the f- is this bloke on about?" Because they were dumbfounded. They just couldn't answer it. Let's just go on to comments before I go to some of the question banks. Ravi's saying, obviously, Arsenal winning the big time trophies that the club want to win. And Todd saying, it's also because of AFTV. They only feed the mutants when they want to hear and hide away from the truth. And that channel, when Mr. DT, should be cancelled and banned from the club and banned from social media. I mean, yeah, we know what they're like, them ones. Trump around the mother and before Arsenal buy a striker. Ravi's saying, the crazy thing is a lot of Arsenal fans were saying they don't need a striker when they were paying in teams. And good evening to Memes career. He's saying here, 1,655 days, still no trophies. How much longer do the top gooners got to suffer, witness the club they desire, go trophyless every season? And how much longer does this go on for? Enough is enough. Get him out. Yeah, not going to happen, is it?
For a while, people. I'm sorry to say it. Only two things will happen to get him out, right? Is the fans eventually turn. We're out the FA Cup again, third round again. We've got to go and play Newcastle away on the 5th of February, right? That's not going to be an easy day out to return around a 2-0 deficit, right? I can't see Arsenal scoring 3 goals up there. I won't lie. And
and not conceding.
Exactly. If we go 1-0 down, it's game over.
Yeah. Doesn't matter, does it?
It's gone.
Doesn't matter.
See you later. Another cup gone, right? But I will put money on this one, Budgie, right? The Arsenal arse wipes, you say, that cup's below us. That cup's below us. Right? Fact, if Arsenal suddenly, miraculously, would have turned that around and get to Wembley, they'll all be there.
Of course they will.
They'll all be there.
Of course they will.
TV are the biggest.
I mean, look, the thing is, Jez, right now, right at this very moment in time, would you be happy if Arsenal, in the last sort of 3 years or whatever, had a Europa Conference League win?
Yeah. It's silverware, man.
And yet, those same Arsenal fans tell us that it's only the third-rate cup. It ain't worth fuck all.
That's
Well,
bollocks.
Before we carry on, sorry to interrupt you, I want to see if we can play this clip. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this. Hopefully it'll play. Let me just find it. Where is it now?
More crosses than a church.
Then you think, let's try something different.
Couldn't cross a road.
Just keep whipping it in.
Whipping excursion.
The delivery was terrible. Honestly, we just run out of ideas.
Couldn't deliver a pizza.
The last time we put in a similar number, 2020, of Banting, 33 crosses against Wolves.
Ow!
What's happened to our free-flowing football? Putting away teams.
Can't recognise him.
This is a joke.
Cross me out.
This guy put in about 30 of them. Every single time. Back post to who? Saka. He's our smallest player.
Saka didn't have a ladder.
What is that? The way things are looking, honestly, this guy, he's our last one.
Captain.
Yeah. We are relying on Odegaard to basically come in and change everything. Because at the moment, it's not looking good. I knew it was a lot, but 46 crosses.
More crosses.
There you go.
I love to see Arsenal meltdowns. I really do.
I just think Pete Hayward's comment on the right hand side saying, "You don't know what you're on about, mate."
That's the problem, Anthony. You know it. You see it. I see it every single day. Right? You get these people. I like to name people, but it's not my show, so I won't. On my channel, I do. They come out with the bullshit all the time about 1 minute they want Arteta out, then it's they change it, and this is because the problem. Yeah, I mean, there's one particular person, right, who every single week likes to give it the big one on AFTV, right? And I've questioned him and said, well, you make out that you were lifelong in the North Bank, yet on other times you were like apparently playing semi-professional football. So where were you then at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon? Were you actually at the at Highbury, or were you playing semi-professional football? I'm sorry, even Harry Potter can't be in places twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
But Graham Potter can.
Oh, did I found the other one? This is the other one I wanted to show you. This one's even a bit better actually. Let me see this. Get this one up and that.
We're going to spend money.
I thought we signed
Is
something.
that you right?
Nah,
Who is it?
we brought out another jacket. Arsenal, where's my striker?
Bring back Nketiah.
And what does that stand for?
No players coming.
Honestly, there's no grammar.
Arsenal.
At this point, we will probably get
NPC, no players coming.
Like, how many jackets do we want to bring
The
out?
lads are cold.
They're good. I like them.
Hallelujah.
They don't score goals.
Zip it up.
These two do, and they're both injured. It's the 22nd of January. What's going on?
No damn thing.
It's like a model shoot every week.
Love Island bombshell.
And I see in the eyes of my defenders, look at them. Who are we supposed to pass
Put
to?
Partey up front.
I see the links with Sesko, Cunha. But look, we just like this player, like that player. It's not Instagram.
Stop exploring.
Yeah, Arsenal, get these deals done. We've got injured players.
Well, that's bad. Right, listen, I've got to make a move, Tone. My battery's about to die. But lads, have a good one. You know what I
James,
mean?
see you later, mate.
It's a fresh week ahead, lads. You know what I mean? And if you're Arsenal, whatever happens,
James.
take care, man.
Yeah.
Take it.
On
Take
that
it
one,
easy.
I seen Yeti's comment on the right hand side saying, "I love that jacket." So
But Budgie, yes, that same thing. The NPC, no players coming.
Yeah,
Oh man.
good, mate.
Todd saying, Jez, do you remember Arteta giving all the players a potato? And Arteta told him, you can stay as a potato or you can turn it into chips or crispy.
no surprise, mate. Bloody hell.
Oh, Jesus. whip.
Absolutely shocking.
Jason Carter, good evening to yourself. Big up to you and all the top gents. Absolutely. Right, let me just ask some of these questions. So, first one for you, Matt. How will you expose any Liverpool weaknesses?
Good question, that. I think with how we play with the high press and with the pace we got on the wings, I feel we could expose the weaknesses of their fullbacks at the minute, because Trent, he's a great footballer, but I've never really rated him defensively. So I could see us causing him some problems. And also that Robertson as well, he seems to be a bit off form from what I've seen lately. So, and with how we play with the the high press, and when we get the balls out on the wing, we like to cut in. I think we could cause them some problems. So I think we'd expose the weaknesses probably there. But one thing we have got to do is we've got to make sure we're defensively sound, because obviously they have got a world-class player in Salah, haven't they? And we all know what he can do. So, our defensive partnership, considering they're both only 19 and 20, they've made a good partnership, Dean Howson and Zabanier. So they've been pretty strong lately in the last two games. So hopefully that they can keep them quiet for a bit. But yeah, I think in terms of our attack and the way we play, I think we could expose a bit of weakness with their fullbacks. It'll be interesting to see how Dongo does against Van Dijk, because I don't know if you saw his goal yesterday when he outjumped the Forest defence, but that was some header. So
mate, that was insane. That was.
Yeah, it was insane header. So yeah, but I think in terms of exposing weakness, I think it'd be their fullbacks, to be honest.
Good. Fair enough. I mean, he's followed in with another one for you, Matt. So you like how are you able to take Forest to the cleaners? Ravi's asking the question.
Yeah, that's a good question as well. I personally predicted a 2-2 draw. I think with the way Forest have been playing and we've been playing, I thought there would definitely be goals in the game. And I thought
there was, we just didn't get any.
I thought that a draw would be a fair result for both sides with how they've been performing recently, to be honest. But yeah, for me, I just don't think that Forest really...
Turn my camera off for a minute.
All right, Budgie.
I don't think Forest really, in fairness, looked any real threat. They had a couple of chances on goal, but yeah, I mean, I think from what I've seen of Forest this season, I mean, yes, he will obviously quote me if I'm wrong, but at times with the bits I've seen of Forest, it seems that they tend to absorb the pressure and go a bit long and direct. And yesterday, I don't think Bournemouth allowed them to do that.
No.
So I think we kind of stopped them playing the game they wanted to play. And luckily for us, we were just on form in front of goal. But it could have been 6-0 because we had one disallowed. But yeah, I think we just stopped them playing their game.
Greedy, aren't you? 5-9-0.
Yeah, I just think we stopped them playing it. I mean, Yeti, you might agree with me, but I think we just basically stopped them playing their type of football that they like to play. And we were just on fire yesterday. So yeah, they probably played us at the wrong time, to be honest. I mean, the game we had earlier on in the season at the City Ground, I don't know if you remember, Yeti, that was a good game. That could have gone either way, really, and ended up in a draw. So I was kind of expecting something similar to that, in all honesty. But yeah, it's
okay, Henry.
It's
great.
I
would say that what you just said is absolutely spot on. I think the start of the game, it looked like we was both sort of in it.
Yeah.
But then basically, I think what you did was you made us try and play your game, and your press was insane. And it was just, we couldn't get anything going. The midfield, we couldn't get anything going. We normally sit back and counter, but you pulled us into your style of game. So we was actually trying to I think we was trying to run at you guys instead of actually staying in shape and all that kind of stuff. Started getting yellow cards, throwing punches. I mean, one of them threw a punch. One of our players threw a punch, if I remember right. And he got a yellow card. I think it was Sosa or something like that.
Yeah, I think
you just pulled it in.
Yeah, I think that might be why you Nuno took him off, because I think he was very, very close to losing his head, wasn't he? So I think that was a good substitution by Nuno.
Yeah.
Because at one point it did look like he was going to blow, and yeah, you are right, he did throw the punch, but yeah, no, you're spot on with that one, definitely.
There's a few
I think that was it. You just pulled us into your game, and we started trying to play your game instead of ours. And we always have decent games together. We don't normally go that bad, but you get what you deserve. If you don't, if you put up a fight and then a fight comes back at you that's harder, then you've got to fight harder. You don't just wilt and go.
Exactly.
Not what we deserved.
Agree on that. Lisa's asking, odds on Bournemouth keeping Kluivert and Kirkitz this summer?
Yeah, great question. I could chuck a few other names in there as well. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? It's going to be... I mean, obviously, it depends on where we finish up. If we finish up in Europe, I would like to think we'd probably keep all our players, but... if you look at what you're reading in the press at the minute, Kirkes is rumoured to be virtually a done deal to Liverpool in the summer. And I can see why. I think he'll suit Liverpool down to the ground, but obviously we don't really want to lose him. But we have signed in this transfer window. We've signed an Argentinian under-20 left-back who is said to be... Craig did an interview with an Argentinian journalist last week, I think, and the journalist was saying that this new signing Solar, I think, isn't it? I think is how you pronounce it. He's an under-20 Argentinian international. He's said to be better than Kirkes. So we might already. It looks like we've already kind of signed a replacement with potential of losing him. Semenyo is another one. I mean, Semenyo is. I mean, you would have seen yesterday, Yeti, the problems he can cause teams on
Quality.
cutting in. Yet he's a quality player. He's another one that's rumoured. I think he's been rumoured with just about every club. So, yeah, I think if any go, I think from what you're reading, it's Kirkes would probably go, and possibly Semenyo, but I'd like to think we'd keep everybody else. Clivert definitely is one of my favourites. I love Clivert, and he's really hit some form now, so I'm hoping we keep him. But I think it's inevitable that as soon as those big clubs with the big bucks turn up, and sometimes players' heads are turned, aren't they? So
agree on that.
But yeah, that's the two I think that might move on. I like to think we'll keep the rest.
Lisa saying for West Ham, obviously, didn't you bid 50 odd million for Duran? Yeah, winning with a miserly 40 to 45 million. First of all, this is not including the one in the summer, and then we upped it up to 57 million. When Villa clearly wanted 70 million plus. The West Ham way, West Ham way. That's what that is. Yeah, that's probably for me. If I was the manager of Villa, my team talk centres around that. That's what they think of you guys. Yeah, they think you're worth less than what you are, kind of thing. But like enough, we got a point. But
did you get the Ravi question about if we got into the Champions League?
That's the next one coming up, mate.
Oh, is it? Okay, no worries.
No, I don't disrespect you. You know that. I do think of you. And this is the one. Big up, yeah. Thoughts on who you might play if you made the Champions League?
Hopefully not Bournemouth.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they get there, that'd be a great season for you, mate.
That'd be phenomenal. That would, to be honest.
Yeah,
yeah. He's already warned, the county of Nottingham that if they see some bloke doing cartwheel, start bollock naked, do not worry about it. He's already put it out there. Todd said, "I like."
I can't do a cartwheel, by the way, Tom. So it won't be me. I might be naked, but I won't be doing a cartwheel.
All right, you do your full guy impression. I'll do that instead. That'd be it. Todd saying, "I like Bournemouth centre back Dean Hughson. I think he will move to a different club in a few years' time."
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think he's right there. I mean, we all know Jose, don't we? And he was saying to me when we first signed him that Bournemouth has signed a hell of a player, and he was definitely right. I mean, he's got Madrid looking at him, I think, at the minute. Chelsea apparently are the ones that are set to make a bid for him in the summer because he's got some bizarre release clause in his contract for this summer. So I don't know what that release clause is exactly, but apparently there's a release clause and Chelsea want to trigger it in the summer. What I've read today. So, yeah.
You've got to keep your team together, haven't you? Which is like what we're trying to get done now. But you got to keep your team together.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest fear is that I don't want to become no disrespect to Southampton. I know they're rock bottom and struggling big time, but I don't want to become a club like that where we're feeding other clubs with all our decent players, and then we end up going down the Swanee ourselves. But I think with our ownership, I don't think they're let that happen. And we lose Dom Solanke and straight away we bring a striker in. So I think they've always got sort of like a backup plan for each position. If they were to lose a player, they've always got with their scouting network, they kind of know who they're going to target to try and bring in to replace that position anyway. So
nice.
But yes, it's never good, is it, when you keep losing players? So I just hope that doesn't start.
Well, maybe West Ham and Arsenal can learn from your model then, Matt. Sell one and get one in, but we know that's not the case, that's for sure. I mean, Brendan's putting here, well, Duran is not good enough to start against the Hammers, it seems. So how is he priced so highly? I think it's a case of, from my point of view, I think it's where Sullivan's basically taking the piss with the offers he put in for the player. I mean, we could have got him in the summertime, and he haggled over reputedly 4 million.
Wow.
And it's a case of like, this kid is young, which we need, for long term.
Good player as well.
And that's the thing, he's a good player. Yeah, our chairman went in with a piss poor, offer, and he got turned down. And then, of course, we try again, and we put in 2 more piss poor offers. But it's, as
Like
you
Arsenal, that is.
said, this is one of those. But 70 million, all right. I mean, because he did well at the beginning of the season when he signed the contract, and of course he put one against us. But I just feel it's where we've taken the mickey with the player, and it's the club responding. If that's what you think, okay, there's the price.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that that Southampton actually get over 11 points, because I want them Derby sheep shaggers to remain the worst in the Premier League.
It's true. AFC always says Top Gun has put some respect on Nottingham Forest there. Top Gun is laughing at Man City as well as a disgrace. Don't they realise what Man City have won in the past 6 years? It's when you think when City's had the start they have, it's very easy to pick the bones of it. But as Jess said, and we all know it ourselves, when it comes to the second half of the season, that's when Man City get into their stride, and we're starting to see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joanne, sorry, Alstomanic saying we're pining our hopes on Bournemouth beating Liverpool. It's possible.
If they play like they did yesterday and they get in their faces and give them a game they don't don't need, and which is what I've said about us all the time, but Bournemouth did that one on us. If you can do that with Liverpool, then you've got every chance, because they don't like being stop played. And Kirkes, if you can get him on Salah, I think he's on that side, then you can't have him busting forward though like he did yesterday. He's going to have to just concentrate on Salah.
Doing what he's doing, isn't it? True. Good shout from Colin here. He says, do you gents feel that Man City are going to start rising up the table, and do you feel they could possibly finish second?
Yep.
Possibly, yeah.
They've got a couple of players in. Obviously, one of the new ones yesterday, by all accounts, didn't exactly have the greatest start to his career at City. Obviously, led to the first goal. But we know what City can do.
Yeah.
They'll definitely get top 4, I think.
You've got a quality striker as well. As soon as he starts getting on the ball,
Yeah, agree on that. Ravi's been a bit tongue-in-cheek. It would be cool to see Robin Hood FC in the Champions League like the old days. If they can still win and give to the poor, we'll be all happy with that. We'd love to see Forest back up there. And I know, he would never do that to you, Jez, but he wouldn't remind you if they did win anything. He wouldn't say to you, they've got 3 stars on this shirt. He's not that type of person. We know that.
Oh, gee, God.
I never actually mentioned the star.
Get out of here. Get out.
That's birds above that tree.
Unbelievable. The pain. I mean, oh, dear God. We'd never hear the end of it, would we?
He's modest, though, Jez. I'm sure he's a modest person.
He'd be on about it forever. Shut up. It's like
I would say Budgie's just nipped off to the St Margaret's Home for the Elderly to deliver some magic. AFC also say, Jez, we played Barcelona in the Champions League. They will cook us.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely missed our chance. And Duran there, that door is well and truly hammered shut, that's for sure. It was probably to see Man City third. Be interesting. If Bournemouth win versus Liverpool, Matt will celebrate like Stone Cold crack open a cherry cokes and proceed to down them at the same time.
Yeah, you could see that. Yeah, whether it be cherry coke or not, I'm not too sure. It might be a bit stronger, but yeah.
But I'll enjoy that one, mate. I'll enjoy that if you win that, because I enjoyed it when we beat them. So if you can beat them as well, the small teams, we don't mean anything. Yeah, we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But he's saying, sorry, Matt, I'm having a nightmare from the phone. No worries, matey. No worries. If you can. If you can't, no worries. Ravi saying, question for Yeti and Matt. Thoughts on your scouting system? Who'd like to go first?
Awesome. Look at the players that we brought in. You know, we brought in some quality players. Murillo, world class, step to world class, 100% in my opinion. He's absolutely awesome. Going to be difficult. I mean, we've just signed up for it till 2029. Got Milenkovic in. You know, the players that we've actually brought in, Anderson, you know, they're all absolute quality.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love our scouting system. Absolutely love it.
Matt, what about you guys?
Yeah.
You know, your scouting system?
Well, just on his comment there, I got a good feeling, to be honest, against Liverpool. But yeah, our scouting system, yeah, I mean, I think it's fantastic, to be honest. It's headed up well. We've we got the guy from Roma during the summer, Pinto,
Yes.
who's our president of football operations, and we've got Simon Francis, who took over from Richard Hughes, who went to Liverpool as technical director. So obviously they head up the scouting network. Yeah, you look at signing Eva Nilsson, you know, Slanky was out the door, and then within 3 to 4 days, you know, we had a replacement. So like I was just saying, I think, you know, they always seem to have players on their radar that are potential replacements for players if any move on. And not only that, this window we've signed you know, 3 good youngsters. Solar, who I was just talking about, the Argentinian left back. We also signed a young goalkeeper for our development squad, and we also signed a up and coming USA international defender from DC United as well. So they're building a good infrastructure of young, decent players, and whether that's players that are going to eventually go into our first team, or whether that's players that we'll eventually go on and sell and make more money on. You know, time will tell. But in terms of the network, it's very, very good down here. Very good. And it'd be even better when our new training ground opens in the next sort of couple of months or so. So
nice.
That will definitely help attracting players. So yeah, very promising and looking very good.
Playing for the future.
Yeah, can I ask the Arsenal fans, what do you think of your scouting system?
Sure.
We ain't got one. Yeah.
We ain't got one. We look on YouTube. Ours.
That's it.
Yeah, Edu got rid of them, didn't he, Jez? He got rid of all of our scouts, Edu.
Yeah, that's it. All gone. Don't have them. We ain't got no scouts. We look on transfer market.
Yeah.
Transfer market.
Football Manager.
Dear me.
Yeah.
I didn't get started on that. Jez can't wait till 25 comes out.
I mean, we probably go Premier Manager and have a look out there.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
And well, you know how shit I was on that game, so
You
isn't it?
did a better job than Arteta.
No, I actually got sacked. So
you got sacked, didn't you? That's true.
Yeah.
You did
After
get sacked.
You didn't take the light bulbs into the dressing room, that's why.
Yeah, and the lemons.
Oh, bloody hell. Todd saying West Ham or Bournemouth can buy Kai Havertz and the manager of most of the team. Yeah, we'll take Rice back. We'll have that, no problems at all. I hope Arsenal get Real Madrid so we can see Arteta shit himself at a press conference. Arsenal Manic saying 3-2 to the Cherries. They play brilliant. I wouldn't want to face your boys. Nice. And he also follows in with, imagine if Bournemouth manager was given 800 million like Mikel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably spend it better.
Angry fizz.
Is Budgie Soupy Pie mash and liquor with a milk tray? As I reckon he's got Clark. He probably has. Jason Carter says that Arsenal we scout on Alibaba.
that right?
That makes sense of this one. I didn't skip the ads, so it could help you. Okay. Thank you very much, Limando. Scout on Timu as well.
Wish.
Wish.com. Ravi saying Arsenal looking at the YouTube comps that some young 15-year-old made an app and posted on socials. Yeah. And AFC always says, question, Jez, Arsenal originally from the South London before we went to North London. I want to know is that we're Tottenham from North London before Arsenal because someone said to me I was wrong. Your thoughts on that?
Well, the fact is this. Arsenal left South London, Woolwich area, Hampstead, to go to what was then Islington, which was actually, was a suburb of London. Tottenham was a suburb of Middlesex. It was not part of Greater London Council. So this is where the argument comes in. So Arsenal technically were in North London, Greater London Council before Tottenham.
Thank you, mate. Let's throw the line that way. Bloody hell. At least we're not going to hear that song, that's for sure. Todd said, has anyone seen Blackburn Rovers? They lost to the mighty Bristol City. There you go, Anthony.
Yes, he did. 2-1.
Usually is asking, is anyone optimistic about Chelsea next Monday? Of course, yes, West Ham face Chelsea. Well, the form they're in currently, and that, who knows? We've got a good chance. And of course, it's Potter returning to his old club.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
Hopefully, he will bring his wand and his broomstick. You never know. I think depends how we set up. And I mean, obviously, hopefully, Somerville might be back for that one because he didn't feature today. And as we know, I know Daz asked the question. Bowen is back in training now after the broken foot, so that's a good sign. I don't know if he's going to feature though, but if he does, it gives us a bit more attacking option, which would be great.
100%.
Wigan 2, Bristol Rovers 0.
Yes.
Terence is asking, Jez, what's your thoughts on Arteta pretending to not understand the question 5 times? Does Arsenal need a striker? I know we covered this earlier.
Yeah, it's mate. Look, the guy's just clueless. This is what I said to you earlier. He tries to deflect away from the truth. He'd make a great politician for Keir Starmer's outfit.
Yeah, that's true.
He'd do far better there. I swear down. But to answer your question, Terence, he didn't know what to say. That's the problem. And when you're the manager of one of the biggest clubs in England and you actually do not have the answer straight out, that is a worry. Because at the end of the day, the man is a fucking idiot and I want him out of this club as soon as we can. But we're stuck with him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he will continue to lie, bullshit, make fake statements, deflect the argument. And he's very good at it. Very, very good.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
And you can't deny that. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, the guy's an absolute fucking prick.
Yes.
I'd love you to get into the press conference, Jez.
I'd be thrown out.
Thrown out in 5 minutes. Yeah. First question to you. Yeah. I mean, funny enough, Jez, and I was speaking to some Arsenal boys at work, and after the journalist said it, because obviously they're hand-picked, the journalists, aren't they, for the questions they throw at him. I don't think we're going to be seeing that journalist returning back anytime soon for the press conferences.
He'll be banned, mate. He'll be gone.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll be getting Jez up at the press conference. Do you know what I bloody am? I'm from Arsenal. What's going on, you bastards? Hey, answer my question. That's what it'd be.
Throw a light bulb at him.
Yeah. Rever's got a big up, Jez. Can you remember or name any of the players that were playing in South London?
Mate, that was before my granddad was born. Sorry, mate. I can look it up, but off the top of my head, I can name you some management, but no, there weren't any great players then. So, no.
Naki Wells, yeah. Look, Jason Carter saying he's looking sharp, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's not on a bit now, that Naki Wells. I think he's about 34 now.
Got to be in there, hasn't he? Yes, I remember when he was, yeah, everyone's over. The West Ham boys hoping we get the sank out of it. Yeah. I mean, Brendan said they never lost on a Monday usual. It's a good shout. That's true. Prediction for Arsenal Man City. Oof, 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 oof.
I had to let Jez go first.
I'm going to go on that one. I think it's going to be a close game, actually. I'm going to go. I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, you bastard! He's like fuzzy. Every time we do a prediction, it's like 1-1.
Well, I think it all depends really. If they play Blue Moon in their training session, then they might have it. Arsenal might have a chance, I suppose. It didn't work with Liverpool, I suppose. But anyway, if he takes the bananas into the dressing room, then I think he might make it that they don't slip up. But basically, City win for me. City win. 3-1.
3-1. May?
I think it's going to be closer than that. I do think City will wedge it. So starting, like you say, that second part of the season, they always hit form, don't they? And I'm going to go with 3-2 City.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think it'll be goals in the game and that, and funny if I did say in my head I thought 3-2, but I think 3-1 is probably going to be more realistic for City.
Yeah.
West Ham was set up for Quidditch against Chelsea. Full techno management tactics. We was winning on Monday. Chelsea should have never have sent Petrovic on loan to keep Sanchez in goal.
Good point.
Tony will say Potter will get a win against Chelsea. Love that.
I think so.
Also, our scouting used to be on the best in Europe. When we signed Lundberg, Perez, Overmars, Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira, Petit, etc., none of them were big names before we signed them. Juve got rid of Henry. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Joe saying more waffle comes out of Arteta's mouth than a potato waffle.
So true.
Yeah. And true, Todd's what saying here. Arteta played mind games in press conferences and social medias and interviews. Yeah, dark arts, as we say. Des is asking Budgie when you're going to do your next video.
His phone works.
Arsenal Manic says big credit has to be given to Wenger too. His class in formative years. He developed players brilliantly, so the potential hence proved their signings. That's true. I know he's limited on who he can pick to play. He'd be interested to see exactly who, though. Yeah, I agree on that usual. What I was going to use. Just joined late, so he didn't know answered earlier. Valid your opinion. Thanks. Dear. Everyone likes what the answers you give there, Jez. I love it when someone sticks it to Arteta in a press conference. Yeah, his face was a picture. Big up to AT as well. Good evening to yourself. Do you guys think West Ham will get a striker in this window? We'll get one player in, I think, but I don't think it will be a striker. And we're going to get the same old bullshit from Sullivan. We tried, but and fill in the rest.
You might as well say you're equal Nottingham Forest then that season when you bought their players. You just might as well. How many players you bought related players this season?
David Anderson says, I think Starmer's an Arsenal fan. Yes, he is. So sums you up nicely. Yeah. Ravi saying, big up, Jez. Always big respect on not just Arsenal knowledge, but football on a whole. That's nice. Yeah, it is awful. Daisy saying 1-1 for that game as well. Jason Williams, but believe it would be the end of the season. City 3-0 from Aces. Big up, Matt. Good to see him on the show. Matt saying 1-0 to City for him as well. Joan also going for same score, 3-2. Arsenal Manic says, had Arsenal signed strikers and wingers, all the Arsenal lads would have been confident in an Arsenal win. Shame on the club. Keep smashing up the likes and subscribe to everyone on the show. Absolutely. 100% great show and panel. Yeah. Links in the description will be in the comments. Usual suspect last two games. Rice has been immense for them. Yeah, he's found a bit of form there, Jez and Anthony. You know, maybe the pair of them have had a little talk and they've settled the differences.
God,
I'm only saying, Ian, I said, as an outsider, I actually thought Arteta had done a decent job. Granted, I can't bear his antics, but surely they were in a better place than when he started.
Well, that's an interesting comment there from Ian. What have we achieved? Where's all the great silverware that he was going to, like, within 3 years, we were going to win the Champions League? Never happened, did it? Didn't even get in the Champions League for 3
That's right, yeah.
I mean, you got the English Super Cup, which you call the dinner plate, apparently.
Yeah, well, sorry, I don't think Arsenal were any better when we were finishing 6th to finishing 2nd. Because at the end of the day, nobody. I asked this question a month ago, right? Who remembers in the 12-13 season who came second? Anybody remember? Chelsea won it. Does anybody remember who comes second?
It weren't. Oh, who's it now? I'm trying to think.
I can tell you who came third. Arsenal.
Arsenal came third, yeah. Who is it?
Liverpool, was it?
It's Man City.
No.
Man City.
But who cares? Nobody remembers.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Nobody remembers. Anyway, Tone, I've got to bounce, mate.
Yeah, well, before you go, because we are going to finish now, I'm just going at the rest of the comments and we're virtually done, mate. So if you'd like to shout yourself out, please, what you've got coming up.
No, I'll wait to the end. Go on.
Okay, because look, we've got this man coming in the net. Jose. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you all? You all right?
Yeah, all good.
All good.
Fantastic.
All good. We're just going to be wrapping up soon anyway. So, but it's a pleasure as always.
I've just come off another show, so sorry.
No, that's fine, mate. That's fine. I mean, it's always a pleasure when you come on anyway, mate. Let's quickly cover you before we all jump off. Your game, mate. Did you watch it?
Today's game? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Poor, or was it just a case of?
It's been what it's been for the last 3 months. But finally, towards the end of it now, we're just running on fumes, completely running on fumes. I think I've just said it on the other channels that I've been on. Any manager that's playing against Tottenham Hotspur at the moment will just say attack Tottenham's right-hand side, because on the right-hand side you've got Porro and you've got Kulusevski, who are the two players that are most on their knees. They're not given a rest. They're playing every single game. And physicality, you lose some physicality, but then mentally you lose it as well. And both goals today were Pedro Porro's fault. He gave the ball away on both occasions with poor passes. They broke on us and scored both goals. And it's just down the right-hand side. So anyone that's playing Tottenham, you don't have to be a genius. Attack us on the right, you'll get success.
Wow. I mean, we was talking earlier in the show, and I don't know if you on the channels you've been on earlier. Do they give Ange more time, or do you think his days are numbered?
I think I'm not as harsh as other people. I live in the real world, and the real world is we have had these injuries, and we've had them for the last 3 months. It's not like one or two. We've got 13 players out, and at the end of the day, we knew that the squad was thin in the summer by 3 or 4 players. As it is, and this is before the season started, we knew we were light. And now that the injuries have come, they haven't helped out. We've got such a small squad that he doesn't trust any of the youngsters to bring them in. I mean, today I personally wouldn't have played Porro. I wouldn't have played Kulusevski, but then I wouldn't have played Porro Kulusevski against Hoffenheim. I've been calling for them to have a break. I would have played today. I would have started Reguilon, who they won out of the club. I would have started Reguilon, and I would have started Mikey Moore, and given Kulusevski and Porro that rest.
Yeah.
But again, you know, he's done what he's done, and I think everyone's got to take a slice of the pie here. The board, the director of football, the manager, the players. I think just everybody. There's a slice of the pie being taken by everybody. Yeah. I do believe that there is more going on in the back than what we get to see, because to turn around and say, yes, we back the manager. We understand all the injuries and we're going to back the manager. You know, he's got our full support. Well, if you've got our full support, why haven't you gone out and bought us some players? And we're now, the 26th of January?
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's just weird things that are coming out of the club. And, you know, it's an absolute mess. Absolute mess. I've just said to people on other channels, even if our players came back from injury, it will take them some time. It's coming back from injury and getting up to match speed. It's going to it will take them some time. And by the time you've done that, are you likely to lose any other players through injury? And even if you didn't, and you were lucky enough to have players going forward, with the way that other teams are playing in the leagues, this season, Tottenham winning or going on a run, Tottenham are not going to finish any higher than 10th place this year from where we are now. I don't think we're going to finish any higher than 10th. And that's even going on a good run because there's too many teams above Tottenham that are picking up points.
Yeah.
There's teams below Tottenham that are picking up points.
Picking up points as well, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing, yeah. True. I mean, we're still above you at the moment, but yeah, it's not good as anyway. But before we start wrapping up, just want to say goodbye to Budgie. Where did he put himself there? He's got to go, but he says
Take care,
got an incoming call due, and yes, she is gorgeous. And no doubt he's going to present her with a box of milk tray, as we all know anyway. And they're all saying goodbye to him and that. So, Jess, you'd like to shake yourself out, and what you got coming up, please, mate?
Muted, Jez.
You're on mute, Jez.
You muted, Jez. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
That's all right. You're in.
Pardon. I had to order the Chinese for the wife to get home from work. Otherwise, I'd be in deep shit. Seriously. Yeah, sorry, mate. Arsenal history more. I'll be Tuesday night. Be an interesting show. I'm doing a show with Kenny and DJB, and we're going to be comparing 4 managers: Bertie Mee, Terry Neal, George Graham, and Arsene Wenger. Who was the best? That'll be quite an interesting debate.
That should be a good one to look out for that one as well. Then that should be good.
I can see him. He looks good from here. We'll just answering Terence's question. Yeah, it's a good view. I can see him. You all right, Tone?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Looking down at you. Thanks, Jose. Cheers, mate. Pepsi say muting, cutting out all the swearing. Yeah, just getting it out there early. Getting the swearing out of the way with George Graham, no content. Yeah, absolutely. And Chapman, they're saying that's good. Give that to Jezzy's show when he comes on there. Matt, thanks for coming in, mate. Short notice. Appreciate it. Where can people find you? What you got coming up?
Yeah, so up the cherries and all department. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and God knows what other platform Craig's got a son. But we've got our weekly podcast, Cherry Picking, this week. We've got a good Liverpool match preview that Craig's doing. He's doing that with Peter Hooton from The Farm, the band The Farm. He's coming on. He's got a new record coming out as well. And what else have we got coming up this week? I think that's it for this week, to be honest. But unless Craig decides to do any other random videos like he tends to. Oh, sorry, our transfer shows as well. We've got our transfer show Thursday night at 6:15, and then we're live on transfer deadline day as well, covering the transfer deadline deals. I think that's everything that we've got coming up. So you can find us on Twitter and Facebook and God knows what else, but yeah, pretty much on every platform.
Thank you, mate. And that
man.
And as you see, I'm going to put it back up again all together now. Yes, singing the song.
That's it. That's them.
Jason Carter said, "Fellas, have a good evening and take care from the States." Jason Carter, thanks as always for being with us. Appreciate that. Yeti, there's your channel, sir. What you got coming up? We know we can find you now.
To be honest, whatever I decide to do, really. But I do like the final whistle, do most of the stuff at the weekend, really. Probably be doing more gaming, more movie reviews, and also like the watch-alongs and things like that. Maybe even open up the pub in the week if Jezza wants to come on or anybody. And I wanted to. I don't feel too great today, to be quite honest. I didn't have anything to celebrate, obviously, yesterday, but I still got drunk, which is just me anyway. But I wanted to make an appearance because I don't hide away like other YouTubers do, when they lose or anything like that. So it's Long-Haired Yeti's Cave. Keep it real, keep it Yeti. You'll always get reality on there and all that kind of stuff. I'll say whatever I like to say. It's my channel, and that's how I'll do it, regardless of what happens. And so Long-Haired Yeti's Cave. Big up to all you guys on the panel. Thanks for having me on. Big up to all the chat as well. Absolute real ones. And Matty, good luck for the season, bro. You absolutely schooled us yesterday. Big up to you, mate.
Yeah, and to you guys as well. I hope it gets better for you guys after. Yeah.
And also to Jose, good to see that the scar's healing up pretty well, mate. I think you're muted as well now, aren't you? Is it your turn to mute?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've had the stitches have been taken out, but I've gone back to playing football. I'm just not playing up front. I've decided to play midfield, so I don't get knocked by centre halves now. But I don't know. I'm playing tomorrow. I've decided whether I'll play midfield or up front again tomorrow. So, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I'm glad that it's all gone and I'm able to play again. So, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Nice
it did
one.
look well. It did look nice when I see it. I thought, bleeding. What's he done there? But. Glad everything's all right, mate. That's what you got coming up anyway on your show.
All I've got planned for the week so far is to do the results show for the predictions, predict the Prem online and fantasy football online, and my prediction show. I've got that tomorrow. That's the only show that I've lined up so far for the week because I've got work. I've got daughters that are taking driving tests. I've got loads going on that I'm going to be I need either to pick someone up or I need to celebrate. So, I've got quite a bit going on this week with the family. So I've only just planned one show for this week at the moment.
Oh, good, mate. Good. And
Good luck.
Thank you very much, Jez. Cheers, mate.
That's good. Cheers. You got another sub from Terence. He's signed up to you as well.
Thank you, Chow. Thank you, man.
Great show as always. Respect to everyone. Thanks there. And Anthony, what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, you can see me on Early Doors Football TV on this show, the Sunday Night Takeaway. We're doing our show on Wednesday, the good, the bad, the ugly. And also I'm on a show on Thursday, of which I'm always on that show, called the Arsenal Alliance with Lee. So we're trying to get a guest on there. Biggest flip-flop I've ever seen in my entire life. 1 minute he's Arteta in, 1 minute he's out, the next minute he's on the fence. So,
doing the
he's doing the but obviously you can find also on Yeti's channel when I go on there on the final score as well. And I just want to say thanks for everybody in the chat and make sure you like and subscribe to everybody's channel here because they do good content. And nobody gets about more on YouTube than Craig, the Bournemouth fan. I got to be honest with you, but fair play to him.
That's true.
Big up.
And nice one there. Look, just sub to all the channels as well. That's great stuff. So people in the chat, as always, pleasure having you with us. Love the banter, love the comments and the questions, of course. And of course, to the illustrious panel that's with me tonight. It's been a good show. We've had some good comments and some laughter and banter. And not going to play the outro for this one. We're just going to enjoy it and say to everyone, have a great week.
Just one more thing, Tone.
Yes, mate.
Just want to say, final whistle. If anybody wants to come on it, it's something I do on Saturday evenings after the final game.
Great show.
And it's just well, it's not that of it.
Oh, that forest gone down.
You're learning from Jez, Yeti. You're learning from knocking wine glasses, the whole shebang-a-lang.
It's completely no holds barred. So if you want to come on, it starts with football, then it just goes into anything. It's a great show. Also, I want to say, Tom, your channel at the minute is booming, bro. And big up to you, man. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Really do.
Keep it real, keep it Anthony. Yeah.
Boot him out.
Shots fired. Cheers, gentlemen. Much love. Great evening. And yourselves as well, people. Howard, have a good one. and enjoy the rest of your week. And this hope is a good one for all of us. Take care, everyone, and good night. Take care.
Arteta out.